Hi, I'm Zach. Welcome to Saucy Sounds. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how I took this simple piano idea and turn it into a full-fledged track. Now, I do have a special guest, Richard, aka Noah's Music. You can find his tags linked in the description below. He was kind enough to hop on and lay down the guitars. And make sure to stick around to the end of the video because he'll be breaking down his guitar parts and the sounds that he used in this track. We're going to be touching on a few different concepts such as layering, sound selection, so that way you can become a better music producer. So I just want to show you how you can take a simple piano idea and turn it into a full track. Now, I rarely start off with like the smaller verse parts, intro parts. I actually always start off with a hook or main idea. It tends to be the bigger idea, and then I reverse engineer it from there and downscale it. So this was the original idea that I had. We're in 6/8. And then I had another little idea for the bridge. Okay, and then so those are the ideas that I had, and then from there I started reverse engineering and then adding more ideas to get to the full track that you heard. Let's go ahead and break that down. We start off with the piano, simple verse part. Something that's really important is you don't have to be super complex. Now, what you want to do is think more in terms of layers and accompaniment. So I got that piano part that's playing in the background, and watch how it's really carried by the drone pad and the reverse loop that I have. Listen to this. I'll play it all together and I'll solo it out. Now let me solo the piano out so you can hear. That's a phenomenal ambience right there. It really sets the stage for the piano to do what it does. Okay, so the piano loop in and of itself is nothing fancy, but when you add those accompaniment parts, that's what makes it come alive. And then you can add in some sparkle right here. and that accompanies the piano on the line that it plays. You see that? So it's really important that you pay attention to your surrounding composition. Let's go ahead and fast forward to the bridge. Now we get back to the main idea. And again, it's not complicated, and we don't need it to be. It's got space to breathe. Now again, storytelling, so let's build in some dynamics here. Now we've got the shaker going and some drums in there, and that gives some rhythm, some movement. And that allows us to repeat the same phrase, but not get tired of it. Now here we go, going up another level. Here it comes. So as you see what we did, if you check out what we did there, we built the dynamics, right? Start off just with the piano, then introduce a little bit of new elements like the rhythm. Now we go full in with the pulse. So we got the drums in here, we got the guitars doing the picks, and we had the melody line going, and now we're building somewhere. Okay, now let me go ahead and fast forward. I don't want this video to go too long. This is the main hook. Okay, so let's go ahead and unpack that there from a piano perspective, right? What I was doing with the synth there. So here's the piano part. Again, nothing fancy at all. These are just tenths played, right? Along a chord progression, but it's all in the layers and the accompaniment. So it becomes really nice and full with the pads in there. See, if I take them out, it's an emptiness there. Then we add the long pad, which adds in some more mids to highs. See, it's out, back in. Okay, that sounds great, but then it was missing a little bit of rhythmic information, which when I added a pulse. And another pulse on top. So it wasn't about being complicated there. Those are all very simple parts, but it's the layering. Again, you got to think in terms of layers when you're doing this stuff, right? Especially as a piano player, because it's similar to the instrument itself. The piano has so many octaves, so much range to it. So you want to make sure that you're balancing your frequencies, right? So we want to make sure that we don't have all of our information in a muddy spot, right? So we want to make sure that we're spreading the keyboard. Okay. I got some highs. I got some mids, right? So that's what you want to think of when you're layering is, are your sounds becoming too muddy, or are you actually spreading the frequency? So these top two sounds here by themselves are just like high and not really full. When we add the pads, now it becomes nice and full, and then it sits below the piano. So just a few tips when you're producing, right? From just a piano track to adding stuff in, is you want to produce around that idea that you have. Make sure that you're choosing different sounds that layer together, make it nice, thick, and full. I'm going to pass it to Richard so he can explain to you what you do with the guitars. I'll see you at the end.
Hey, it's Richard from Knows Music. I just wanted to show you what I was working on for this song, the parts, the tones I chose. I'm going to go ahead and show you my pedal board and what I was working with. Alright, so here's my pedal board setup. I started with the Source Audio Zio, the Walrus Audio Mira, the Hotone Boost, and the Hotone Daily Driver, which is like a transparent overdrive. I also had the Walrus Audio D1 delay with a dual delay setting in stereo, the R1 with some reverb, and the slower with like an ambient reverb that has a higher octave on it. Later on in the song, I turned on the Walrus Audio Ages, and then the Eons for the lead tone. And then here's my trusty Veritas Guitars Portlander, super sick guitar, low output humbuckers. I absolutely love this thing from the guys over at Veritas Guitars. Let's get back to the music. Alright, so here I start with a nice clean ambient tone with some reverb delay and overdrive. Light transparent overdrive. And I start off by doing some swells. It's really nice. It has delay, reverb, and then kind of like this reverb, there's a higher octave, which sounds really cool in the mix. And then I go ahead and do this cool harmonic line, like over the, I think it's a synth or keyboard over Zach's line. Check it out. So it's really nice. It's a really nice line. I didn't really want to play the line note for note, so I thought doing harmonics would add just like a nice kind of texture to it. So that sounds like this. Together. So yeah, super cool. So then I came up with a line for like the verse part. I wanted something to be a little bit more percussive and kind of catchy. Still using that clean tone. And then I wanted to trade off with the keys. There's this line he does right here into the next section of the song. So I wanted to do a line, not the same notes, but the same rhythm. Kind of trade off, almost like a handoff from my melody into his melody. Now I'm just doing swells here behind that really nice, pretty piano line. Music's coming up a little bit more. My swells are getting a little bit more intentional, a little louder. And just to show you what that sounds like. It's still very clean. Really nice. Then I'm gonna go ahead and match that keyboard line. I'm digging in a little bit more. Now I'm gonna turn on my drive pedal. A little bit stronger. Here we go into the chorus. I'm gonna flip to my bridge pickup. Matching that keyboard line. That's a cool part. I just added a little bit of a variation to that melody. The second time. And this is like a solo, so I didn't want to do something too crazy. I wanted to keep the vibe of the song. Definitely more elevated. Doing a melody line here, kind of matching that keyboard a little bit, but it still sounds like a solo part. A little bit more variation on the second time. back on. Matching the piano. Fun little melody at the end, and that's it.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that breakdown. Let me know in the comments below if you'd like more videos like this going over music production and how you can take your instrumental skills and put them into the studio and expound and make your own songs. As always, I appreciate you guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next video. Stay saucy.